Can you amend the contract mileage on your lease? Let's find out. Welcome back to the channel, folks. JD here again. So what I want to do quickly now is talk about mileage or agreed contract mileages on leases and whether you can change it. And this would probably apply to PCPs as well, but I'm going to look at personal contract hire or business leases today, and what would happen if your circumstances changed midway through the lease and you wanted to change the contract mileage. Now, the important word in what I've just said is contract mileage. What do I mean by that? Well, let's say you take out a 3-year lease, and the problem with leases and PCPs, but it's more important with leases because you tend to run the lease to the end, and that's when excess penalties can come into play, unlike a PCP where you can sell the car earlier if you wish. Contract mileage is the important term. So I take out a 3-year 36-month lease and I agree 12,000 miles a year. Now, we're not really agreeing 12,000 miles a year, we're agreeing 36,000 miles on the contract. So that technically means you could do 30,000 miles in the first year and then 3,000 miles in years 2 and years 3. And that's important because what I'm going to look at today is what happens when we amend that contract mileage. So let's say I've taken a little quote here from leaseloco.com. Check out this website if you're looking at leasing any car because it's a really good comparison website. I've chosen a pretty standard family car. It's a Ford Focus 1.5 Eco Blue 120 Active X Edition 5-door diesel manual for front-wheel drive. I said four-wheel drive then. I presume that's front-wheel drive. And if we look at 12,000 miles a year, or effectively 36,000 mile contract mileage, because I've chosen 3 years, I've chosen upfront of 1 month, so it's effectively no deposit. It's 35 plus 1. It's coming out, ignore the broker fee, it's coming out at £329.86 a month. Okay, so let's say we're happy with that. And then something like COVID happens and we're working from home a lot more, we're not using our car, and we come to the end of, say, year 2, and let's say we've only done 24,000 miles at that point. So we've averaged 8,000 miles a year. Okay, stay with me. I then say to myself, well, hang on a minute. I have only done 8,000 miles a year over the last 2 years. Why am I going to pay for 12,000 miles in year 3? So what I want to do is reduce my mileage to 8,000 miles in the next 12 months until the end of the lease. So if we run some figures, look, what I'm going to do is I've put the figures in here, look, so 12,000 miles per year, which is 36,000 miles on the contract, 36 equal payments of 329.86. That's what it says on this Lease Loco website today. That's on the 10th of July 2021. So that's a total amount of £11,874.96 over the 3 years. So it's 36 times 329.86. If we look at what it would be now on 8,000 miles a year, so I'm going to drop that to 8,000, look, it drops it to 265.87. So it's quite a significant difference, you can see, on this particular car. Some cars will be a big difference, some cars won't make much of a difference. This is non-maintained as well, I should say. So if you have a maintenance plan on a lease, it will change as well when you change the mileage, because obviously there's going to be more servicing required, etc. If you increase the mileage, there's going to be less servicing required if you decrease the mileage. But this is purely for the car, no maintenance. So 265.87. So I'll put that in there, look, on 24,000 miles, and that's coming out at 9,571.32. So quite a difference, look, of 63.99 a month. So that's a big saving. Now, I'd be interested to hear from anyone who's done this, because I've not done this myself, but I think it is something I will do on the Tesla, because I've done that on 12,000 miles a year and I don't know whether I'm actually going to need it. So what am I trying to say? Is it, I suppose the question I'm asking myself, is it $63.99 a month? Well, if you think about it, it's going to be more than that, because we've already paid. Remember what I said at the beginning, we've paid for contract mileage. So we've already paid our 24 monthly payments up to that point based on us doing 12,000 miles a year. So if you think about it, if we come to the end of year 2 and we've only done 8,000 miles a year, we've only done 16,000 miles out of our 36,000 mile contract. So effectively, we've paid 24 monthly payments too much already, because we've paid for the whole 36,000 miles across the contract. So I think the reduction, now let me just add, I've done a little bit of research into this. Changing your mileage on a lease once the contract's begin is it totally at the discretion of the finance provider. They don't have to do it, okay? There may be an admin fee payable. I've seen a quote today for £95 plus VAT to change the mileage. You may not be able to do it for the first 12 months, and you may not be able to do it with less than 6 months left on the lease, okay? So that's why I've chosen this 2-year point of a 3-year lease, okay? My question is I think it should be a bigger saving than that. So if we go to sheet 2, look, what I've done is, if we go, so this is 12 months to go or 24 months in to the lease, how much have we paid at that point? Well, we have paid 24 times D4, which seems to be missing all of a sudden. That's interesting. Let me just amend that. So that should be equals that times, bear with me folks, that. There we go. So at the 2-year point, even though we've only done 16,000 miles, we've paid for 24,000 miles. So we've paid £7,916.64. Okay. 8,000 miles, we need to pay F21, which is... I did set this up. Oh, here, let's come back. Okay, so at 8,000 miles, across 36 months, it's going to cost us £9,571. Okay, which is 265.87, which was the amount we got at the beginning on an 8,000 mile a year lease or 24,000 mile contract. So basically, we've already paid. God, this is all going wrong, isn't it? This is all going wrong. Bear with me. I'm on the wrong spreadsheet. Right, we need to pay F21. Why has it changed that? So at 8,000 miles, what am I trying to say? Let's try and work this out on the cuff. So 8,000 miles, we need to pay 36 times that. Right, that's better. That's what I wanted to say. Right, let's start again. 12,000 miles for 24 months. We've paid £7,916.64. For 8,000 miles across the entire term, so that's a contract mileage of 24,000 over 36 months, it will cost us £9,571. So if you think about it, up to the end of month 24, we've already paid £7,916 because we've paid for that mileage that we haven't used. So my theory is that we've got only £1,654 to pay in year 3 because we've paid 7,916.64, which is 24 months times the 329.86 a month. And if we were to do 24,000 miles across the 3 years at the outset, it would have cost us 36 times 265.87, which is a total lease cost of 9,571. We've already paid 7,916, so I think if we drop that mileage to 24,000 miles on the contract or 8,000 miles in the last year, it could save us as much as £137.89 a month. Now, it may not do. I'm sure there would be admin fees. As I said earlier, they may not allow you to do it, but it's definitely worth investigating. If anybody out there has got a PCP and certainly a lease, if you change the PCP mileage, what it will do is increase the balloon payment at the other end, and therefore your monthly payment will change. It will come down. On a lease, as you can see here, there could be quite a significant reduction in your monthly payment. Certainly if you change it quite a long way into the lease. I mean, obviously, if we changed it after 12 months, it's not going to make such a difference. It's still going to come down, but because we've already paid 2/3 of the higher contract mileage rate and we want to bring the lot down in the final year, as you can see, it's making quite a significant reduction in monthly payment. So that's an interesting to see. Like I say, it's just a thought I had, something that I'm thinking about on the Tesla. I know with the company that I'm getting the Tesla from, I can amend the mileage 6 months in. Okay, so my reduction won't be that much of a saving. So you could argue, is it worth running it for 18 months, 2 years to see where you're at? And then if there is a massive change in the mileage that you're doing, reduce it in the last year, you're going to have a massive saving in the final year rather than changing it early on. Okay, I hope that makes sense. As always, you can get a copy of the PCP spreadsheet by sending me an email here, one-off payment of £10. You can also get a copy of my salary sacrifice electric vehicle spreadsheet, which enables you to calculate how cost-effective an electric vehicle can be through a salary sacrifice scheme. Okay, I hope that was useful. Where's the camera? I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. Take care.